Okay, 3 minutes. You have a little less than 2.5 minutes to complete questions 1 through 3 on your screen. Okay, you are at 2 minutes. You are at 1 minute. Thirty seconds. Okay, your 4 minutes is up. I am going to go over questions 1, 2, and 3 with you, and then we are going to go into our lesson for today called Baby Raccoons. Last night, my friend and I went to a ball and danced all night. What is the meaning of the word ball as it is used in the sentence? Okay, so some of the things I need to pay attention to are where it says, I danced all night. And the unknown word, the multiple meaning word right here. Now, if I'm talking about dancing all night, I'm not going to be talking about sports equipment. And I'm not going to be talking about that I'm crying a lot. So my answer would have to be a formal dance. Okay. Now for questions 2 and 3, I want you to share your answers. I'm going to go ahead and enable the chat again, so you all can send me your answers for question 2 and question 3. So go ahead and type your answers in the chat for question 2 and question 3. Yes, Serenity.
So I couldn't barely see number 3, so I don't know what the word is and what the answer is.
Okay, there was a fly buzzing around my house and I couldn't get it out. What is the meaning of the word fly as it is used in a sentence?
Okay. And what is the answers?
Answer choice A is what you do on a plane. Answer choice B is how a kite floats in the air. And answer choice C is an insect.
Okay. Alright. Chat.
Yes, Nick King.
Two is A and 3 is C.
Good. 2 is A and 3 is C. Good. So Monday, it was so hot I could hardly bear it. What is the meaning of the word bear? It would have to be handle. I could hardly handle how hot it was. And then 3 and a king told us was an insect. There was a fly buzzing around my house and I couldn't get it out. What is the meaning of the word fly as it is used in a sentence? It would have to be an insect. Okay, perfect. Now we are going to go and look at our passage for today, and it is the baby raccoons. So everyone, let's look at where it says baby raccoons in our passage. Okay, perfect. Baby raccoons. So go ahead and get there now. Okay, for baby raccoons, the first thing is I am going to do question 1. We are going to do question 2 and 3. You are going to do questions 4 and 5 and 6. So just 4 and 5. There's no question 6 today. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my first question that Miss Stewart is going to do for us. So I see my question says, what does fancy mean in paragraph 2? What's so nice about this is that it is telling me directly where to find my answer because it's telling me it's in paragraph 2. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to box where it says fancy. I am going to underline mean, and I am going to underline paragraph 2 because it's telling me directly where to find my answer. Once you are finished marking question 1 that I did, I want you to mark up questions 2 and 3. Take about 40 seconds to do this. It shouldn't even take you that long. So once you have question number 1, go ahead, mark up question 2 and question 3. You have about 15 more seconds. All right, time is up. I am going to clear my boxing and underlining for question 1. I also, based off our data for Am I Nuts, I made up a question to ask you all. So someone's going to walk me through this one during our We Do. So for our We Do, we are going to do 3 questions. One of the questions that I ask is not going to be in your packet because I made it up, okay? So let's start with question 1. What does fancy mean in paragraph 2? I'm going to go and I'm going to read my text. First, I need to identify what type of text this is. So it says adapted from Babyhood of Wild Beasts, Baby Raccoons. And I see that there are footnotes down here. So anytime I see a word next to a number, I know that it's going to tell me what the word means. Okay, I'm only going to answer these 2 questions and then I'm going to get started with our lesson. Yes,
What are
Jane?
footnotes?
What are footnotes? Footnotes are essentially just giving you the definition of words you may not know. So anytime you see a word that has a number next to it, it's telling you the definition at the bottom of the page.
Okay.
Yes, Alejandra.
So I can't find baby raccoons or whatever we're reading in my packets.
Okay.
Like,
Hold on. Do you have the 3rd packet?
we're looking through all my packets that I have, and I can't find it because
Okay. This is the packet that I'm looking at right here. Okay. Then I see my first story is Visit the Sculptor. My second story is Baby Raccoons.
okay, I found it. Thank you.
Okay, so we are going to start with question number 1. Like I have said, we are going back into our text. We know it is a nonfiction because we are learning about baby raccoons. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to box my title. And my question I'm going to put is, what will I learn about baby raccoons? And again, this is nonfiction. Oops. So what will I learn about baby raccoons? Again, you do not have to have the exact same question that I do, but we do have to have a question written down. Take about 20 more seconds before I clear. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and clear, and we are looking at the first paragraph. Follow along as I read to you, and then I will answer question 1, and we will answer questions 2 and 3, and then we will answer a question from Miss Stewart's reading. Have you ever seen a little raccoon watching each bit of its food before he eats it? His cleaning methods are amusing indeed. The Germans call him Washbar, meaning wash bear. As soon as the babies are weaned and begin taking solid food, they wash or soak each bit of food in water. They use their very human-looking hands quite easily while performing this task. This little fellow can chip an egg with its teeth and drink the contents without spilling a drop. He can remove covers from jars and stoppers from bottles with such ease that one would fancy he had been taught. I'm going to pause there because I know that one of my questions was, what is the meaning of the word fancy? So I'm going to underline where it starts up here. He can remove covers and jars and stoppers from bottles with such ease that one would fancy he had been taught. And I'm going to mark that as question 1. Take 15 seconds to underline this. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So you should have underlined the last sentence in paragraph 2. And now I'm going to clear. Looking at paragraph 3, Mr. Raccoon is a most remarkable feeder. Anything from a live rabbit steak to green corn and raspberries appeals to his taste. They especially like sweets, candy, molasses, sugar, and even butter, it tempts them. The babies are born in a hollow tree, which is the favorite home of the raccoon. There are 5 or 6 in a litter. The little ones grow rapidly and are soon able to join the nocturnal rambles with father and mother, for Mr. and Mrs. Raccoon are night roamers. Most of their fun and their hunting is carried on at night. They sleep during the day. I was the happiest girl in the world the day I was presented with a baby raccoon. He was a round, squirming ball of gray fur, beautifully striped with black markings, 2 black eyes, and as bright as new shoe buttons, and a little pointed black nose. But the most beautiful thing about him was his bushy gray tail striped with black. He sniffed at me, hardly daring to make friends in so short a time. I comforted him as best I could and waited for him to make the first move. Okay, I'm going to pause there. Here is my question for you all. It is not in the text. It is in the text, but it is not a question written down for you because I made it up. According to the text, how many baby raccoons are born at one time? According to the text, how many baby raccoons are born at one time? And we have already read up until that answer. Kaylee.
6.
Okay, how did you know that was the correct answer?
Because when it says the babies are born in a hollow tree, which is the favorite home of the raccoons. There are 5 or 6 in the litter.
Good. So, does everyone see how Kaylee was able to go back into the text? Thank you, Kaylee. Wonderful job. And find her answer. That's what we need to be doing when we have a question like according to the text. It is in the story, so you have got to go back and find it, okay? Again, this is a question I made up. It is not in your packet. Yes, Brooklyn.
There can also be 5 of them too.
Yes, there can be 5 or 6, yes. Okay, so let us pick up where we are going to the next page. So I see weaned was the first word I was not sure about, and the definition is at the bottom of our first page. So if I look up where I see the number 1, where it says weaned in the first sentence of paragraph 2, weaned means able to eat food other than the mother's milk. Stopper is also in paragraph 2, where we underlined. It says he can remove covers from jars and stoppers of bottles. So that would be a plug, cork, or other material used in the top of a bottle. And nocturnal is in paragraph 4. So the little ones grow rapidly and are soon able to join the nocturnal rambles. So nocturnal means you're active at night. Picking up at paragraph 6, I turned him loose in our big country home, and he began house hunting. He found a loose brick at the base of the old chimney and made himself a little home by removing the brick and crawling into the base of the chimney. Here he slept during the day, and at night he started roaming. He explored the old house from top to bottom, carrying mischief in wherever he went. Paragraph 7. The raccoon learned to lap milk as easily as a kitten. Our 2 fat tabby cats breakfasted on warm milk, and the raccoon was greedy. He soon discovered that he was the boss of the ranch and used his power to a deadly advantage. As soon as his tabby cats began breakfast, he would leap suddenly from behind the old wood box and, with an ear-splitting bark, rush at the cats. A flash of tails and the cats had disappeared, and the raccoon would greedily eat up their abandoned milk. He would climb up beside me as I sewed and amused himself with spools and strings. He loved playthings. I gave him a pretty ball, and he became a good ball roller. He would hold it tightly for an hour or so at a time. Paragraph 9. He would curl up on the foot of my bed. He didn't sleep much. The darkness was too exciting for him. So he would quietly drop to the floor and start wandering. He was full of mischief at night. One of his favorite stunts was to pull the stopper out of the ink bottle and pour the contents over the white tablecloth. He would unlatch the door and also turn a doorknob. Okay, so again, I'm going to do question number 1. So because we have already marked up our question, we should have boxed the word fancy, underlined mean, and underlined paragraph 2. So again, I'm going to go back up to paragraph 2 to see what I had underlined. And again, I underlined, he could remove covers from jars and stoppers from bottles with such ease that one would fancy he had been taught. So again, because the question is asking us, what does this word mean? I automatically know that I need to do my TKI chart. So again, we already identified what the text is saying by underlining in our text and doing question 1. So my text is telling me he could easily, I'm going to go back into my text so I can type in and look at the same time. Says he can remove covers / stoppers from bottles with such ease one would fancy he had been taught. Okay, so my text is telling me he can remove covers and stoppers from bottles with such ease that one would fancy he had been taught. I need to think to myself, what words do I know? Well, I know the word taught because I would use it in my everyday language with you all as well. So what do I know about the word taught? So I have to think, okay, well, if I'm being taught something, I know how to do it. So if I were to say, oh, well, I know that I taught this to you, imagine the person had been taught this. So I know that the raccoon was not taught how to open jars or stoppers. Now, this one is a little difficult because there's really not much telling me about the word fancy in my text. So what I like to do here is I like to insert all of my answer choices and look at what my K says. So I know the raccoon was not taught how to open jars and stoppers. So I'm going to insert all my answer choices in for where it says fancy in my text. So it's not going to help. Okay, so he can remove covers and stoppers from bottles with such ease, one would give he had been taught. Well, based on that, I already know that give doesn't make sense because I'm not giving him anything. There's nothing in my text supporting the fact that I'm giving him something, and I cannot give something to be, I can't give he had been taught. He can remove covers and stoppers from bottles with such ease, one would build he had been taught. Well, nothing in my text is telling me about build. There's nothing in my K for know about building something, and there's nothing supporting the fact that the raccoon is building anything. So I'm going to cross off B for build. C says detail. Well, typically when I am talking about the word fancy, I am talking about details. So for example, if I were to say, wow, Cherish, that's such a fancy dress you're wearing, I'm complimenting on what the dress looks like and the specific details of the dress. And Cherish, I know you're not wearing a dress right now. I was just using it as an example. So, and that sentence, fancy would mean detail, but let's see if detail works here. He can remove covers and stoppers from bottles with such ease, one would detail he had been taught. So I'm not describing how kind of am describing how the raccoon is removing covers and stoppers, but I'm not giving specific detail on what he looks like or what he's doing. So because of that, detail is not going to be an answer choice. Now we have one answer choice left, but let's make sure imagine makes sense. He can remove covers and stoppers from bottles with such ease, one would imagine he had been taught. Okay, so that would make sense because I am saying, oh, maybe he was taught, I'm imagining that maybe someone went and taught him because of how easily he's able to remove covers from jars. So fancy in this case would have to be imagine. So imagine is our strong possibility and our answer choice. Yes, Kaylee.
Miss, I'm not finished with the TKI chart, so can you leave it up there for a little bit longer?
Yes. Do you think you'll be finished in like a minute and a half?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll give you about a minute and a half to finish, okay?
Okay.
Thank you for telling me you needed more time. So you all have about a minute and 20 seconds to finish writing down your TKI chart. That should be the only thing you are focused on. Yes, Brooklyn.
For number 3, are we gonna do a TKI chart?
I'm not looking at number 3 yet, so I'm not sure. But we are only focused on number 1 right now. You have about 45 seconds before I clear. 30 seconds. I'll hold it up so you can see. "20 seconds. Four, three, two, one. Okay, I'm going to clear. Let's look at question number 2 and 3. So you were to box and underline your questions of 2 and 3. So I would like Shania to tell us what we need to box and underline for question number 2.
We need a box passage.
Okay, passage is not in that question. So let's look at question number 2 again. According to paragraph 3, what made the feeding habits of the raccoon remarkable? So first, where are we finding our answer?
We find our answer in passage 3.
Paragraph 3. So what
Okay.
should we do to paragraph 3? Box or underline or nothing?
We should box and underline.
So let's underline paragraph 3.
And we need a box raccoon.
Well, do we know what the word raccoon means?
No.
Well, I think we do. We know a raccoon is an animal. So what word are we looking for? Which word has slanted print?
Me.
What about the word remarkable? So we should box the word remarkable. So if you did not have this marked up correctly, go ahead and do that now. So again, you underlined paragraph 3 and you boxed the word remarkable. Now, Shania, where do we need to go to find our answer?
Paragraph 3.
Paragraph 3. So I'm going to go ahead and clear this, and let's all go up to paragraph 3. Trayson, where are you? Okay. Trayson, where in paragraph 3 are we seeing the word remarkable?
In the first sentence.
Perfect. The first sentence. So what should we do to the first sentence?
Underline it.
Beautiful. Yeah, so let's underline. Mr. Raccoon is a most remarkable feeder. And my underline was not very good, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, do we have anything so far of what we underlined, Tracy, about what the word remarkable means?
Right. Well,
Yes.
we found a pool, our HOA approved like a 10 by 30 pool. And since our pool probably won't open, we absolutely love our pool, like a kiddie side and an adult side.
Is the most remarkable feeder. Hold on, I muted you for just 1 second. Okay, so is anything in that first sentence that we underlined, Trace, and saying what remarkable means? Unmute yourself, hon.
We allow them to do
Does
stuff
any
like that.
promise?
If they still, they want to go see, their grandparents, or like my sister lives here, and I hadn't even let her come over, because she lives in Charlotte. I live in South Carolina.
Okay,
And Charlotte,
focus on the word feeder. I want you to go back into paragraph 3, and I want you all to look about remarkable feeder. Kaden, S.
Yes.
What about makes a raccoon a remarkable feeder?
Huh?
Looking at paragraph 3. What makes a raccoon a remarkable
Okay.
feeder? Read it after the first sentence.
You said what?
Keep reading after the first sentence of paragraph 3.
Okay. Anything from a live rabbit steak to green corn and raspberries appeals to his taste. They especially like sweets, candy, molasses, sugar, and even butter tempts them.
Okay, so let's think of this. It says anything from rabbit to green corn and raspberries a raccoon likes to eat. So would he be a picky eater, or would he just eat anything that looks good to him?
He would just eat anything that looks good to him.
Perfect, yes. So what I did here with Caden's help is I took what Trayson told me to underline, and I drew an arrow to all the things they listed that he wanted to eat. Appeals to his taste is going to be key here, because if it's appealing to me, it means I like it. So because it says appeals to his taste, I'm going to give you like 10 seconds before I clear. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so because it's telling me it appeals to his taste, Caden already gave us my blind answer. So we know that anything that looks good, the raccoon will eat it. So anything that looks delicious to the raccoon, he is going to eat. So Sanaya, I'm trying to unmute you. I don't know why I can't. Okay, Sanaya Green. Walk us through our process of elimination based on the blind answer that Caden gave us.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cross out A because nothing in our text said something about the raccoon being a very picky eater.
Beautiful. What about B?
We're gonna put P for possibility
Perfect.
because it said it kind of matches what our blind answer says.
Yes, awesome job. What about C?
No, we're gonna cross that out
Why?
because it has nothing to do with what we written down in our passage and
Perfect.
underlined it and our blind answer.
Perfect. What about D?
We're gonna do the same with D. We're gonna cross it out
Why?
because it has nothing to do with what we're saying in our blind answer or our passage.
Very good job. So it has to be what?
B.
Yes, it has to be B. Good job. Okay, awesome job, Sanaya. Let's go ahead and look at question number 3. Paragraph 6, which is used to describe how the raccoon found a place to sleep. Yolanda, what do we need to do to our question?
We have to underline paragraph 6
Beautiful.
and we have to underline and underline how the raccoon found a place to sleep.
Perfect. Yes. Now, Yolanda, what do we need to do next?
Go back into our text and read paragraph 6 and then find where it tells us how the raccoons found a place to sleep.
Very good job. Go ahead and kiss your brain for that. That was perfect. Awesome explanation. I'm going to go ahead and clear. And let's go back into paragraph 6 and find where it's talking about how he is finding a home.
You don't have any. No, you don't. You don't have to do your Zoom. But you have to eat too.
So Yolanda, where in paragraph 6 is it talking about where he's finding it?
I turned him loose. I turned him loose in our big country home, and he began house hunting. He found a room
So
brick
in
and
our
the
big
base.
country home, and he began
Oh my God.
house hunting. Lord have mercy. And that is question number 3.
3.
Now, what would our answer choice, our blind answer have to be based on the fact that it says, I turned him loose and he began house hunting? So what would our blind answer be, Yolanda?
A blind answer would be a blind answer would be I turned him loose in our big country. Wait.
So what did he do in order to find a place to sleep? He was looking for his what?
A home or
Good.
a place to stay. So he's looking for a house hunting.
Yes. Good job. Okay, so let's have our blind answer that Yolanda told us. What did he say? So she told us our answer was house hunting. So, and because she told us our answer, she found it when she was looking at our first sentence in the paragraph. So Yolanda, explain to us how you knew it was house hunting. You're on mute, hon. Hold on. Okay, go ahead.
I turned him loose in our big country home and he began house hunting.
Beautiful. Yeah, so Yolanda literally just went back into her text to find her answer. Okay, so because of that, she found her blind answer of looking for his home or a place to stay. So therefore, he was house hunting. Okay, so I want to apologize for the dog barking in the background and me getting up to deal with him. It was mainly just so we could have a quiet lesson on my end. So again, I am so sorry about that. He's still trying to get his life together like the rest of us during quarantine. Go ahead and take a few more seconds to make sure you have your answer correct, your blind answer, and your question boxed and underlined. I am going to send the Kahoot out to you for questions 4 and 5. Yes, Serenity.
What was the blind answer for number 2? Because I was doing something.
Okay, so for number 2, the blind answer was ate anything that looked good. I can put it back up for you. So he ate anything that looked good to eat. Okay, so I'm about to send the Kahoot. No, I already sent the Kahoot out for today. You have until Thursday at 12 o'clock noon to do your Kahoot. Again, make sure you are putting in your correct name. Make sure that you are answering the questions in the packet before you transfer your answers onto the Kahoot. Okay? You all did really well today. I'm really proud of how well you did and how you handled the distractions in the background. I will not be seeing you all until Tuesday, because Thursday the teachers are in third grade are going to go clean out their classrooms. So I will have the lessons recorded for the rest of the week and send them out to you. Yes, Kaylee.
When class is over, cause when you was talking and I already did it, can you help me with like question 4, please?
When class is over, because you already did it? I'm confused.
No, I'm talking about like, can you help me with question 4?
Okay, here's what I'll help you with, okay? You're gonna do a TKI chart, okay?
Uh-huh.
Doing a TKI for 4 and for 5. Go back into paragraph 7 and think of what it says by an ear-splitting bark. Think of it, is it a sound? Is it a way a cat would scratch something? Is it a loud noise? Or is it a way a raccoon would split apart the bark on a tree, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Last question. Cherish.
I am moving next week.
Oh my gosh, don't tell me such things. Okay, so you all have the Kahoot for yourselves. I kind of helped you with question 7. I mean, not question 7. Question number 4. Okay, I am about to end class. Again, you all did really well today. I will not see you until Tuesday, but you will see me the rest of the week through our recorded lessons. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. And I will see you Friday. That's not true. I will see you Friday for the 3rd grade celebration. So I will see you all Friday for the 3rd grade celebration. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Keep working hard on trying to get these Kahoots done. And I will see you all later. I miss you all so much. Bye, everyone.